Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Is this thing on?
Is this thing on?
Okay, nobody said anything, so I was like, it's
I did.
broken. What's up?
What's up?
Awesome.
What's up? What's up? Not much.
Are
Stuff.
we live?
We're live, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Bingo, bango, bongo.
All
way
live.
to tell us?
I mean, why would I be telling you to hush? I could just mute you if I just, yeah.
That's true.
I'm extra orange in this lighting situation.
Yeah, you are.
I am.
Nope, don't.
Streamer in chief.
Saw it coming.
Yikes.
Like a freight train. Oh, hey, look at that. Here it comes. How's everybody's week been?
I don't know. It's just Wednesday.
Oh my God, we did this last time.
Did we?
It's been a week since they've watched you
It's
talk live.
Wednesday, So
How has the week? How has the last 7 days been? I see.
That's usually what a week's called.
Well, you know what? My week resets every Sunday technically, but like when the week starts, so I don't think about last week. When somebody says, "How's your week gone?" I don't think about last week. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Right.
How's your week
So-
How's your week so far then, Ben? I don't
My
want to
week
make
so
you
far,
overtax
It's been very
your brain.
relaxing because there's no school tomorrow, so I'm just sort of like coasting, just working and not studying, not getting ready for school. I'm gonna do some
Yeah.
paper grading in place of going to school and getting ready for the my big Saturday. Saturday's gonna be insane.
Yeah, it is. Well, more on that later.
Right.
Are you doing anything earlier that day, or are you just talking about?
All day. I have 2 signings that day.
Oh shit!
I have to go to St. Charles, then I have to go to Apotheosis, then I have to go to the Twitch thing, then I'm going to the party afterwards.
When does Apotheosis end?
5.
Oh damn! Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that'll be fun.
I'll just be in costume all day, and I'll just go from one thing to the
Oh
next.
no,
It's
Ryan, we won't be in costume.
It's all
Oh,
lined
we're-
up.
I'm working on it.
Wait, you are?
You won't be in costume.
I'm gonna be the asshole that shows up not in costume. Time to dig out my old Punisher shit. Surprise!
Yeah, man.
Ryan,
You
how's your
could
week
take
been?
a gun there, but
Ryan, how's your week been?
it's been pretty good so far. I was a little sick yesterday, but I've been and I didn't actually. It hasn't been good because I didn't get to do couch co-op on Monday because my computer was messing up, and I was sick yesterday. So
So you didn't do couch or tuner. It's been
didn't do dick.
You play League of
Nope.
Legends, which I guess is dick.
Yep.
Yeah. Hi.
Well, I played that for about an hour, and then Jesus, how about you not do that?
What's happening? That's your baby's safety.
The monitor was going off.
We
Hey,
will
baby,
protect
live.
her.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Well, hey.
Yeah, so I didn't get to do a whole lot of streaming this week. I did stream today though, so
Dope.
Back into it. Even though Friday I won't be streaming because I'll probably be coming down to St. Louis on Friday. So,
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Cool. My week's been all right. Been kind of busy. Had a lot of stuff going on. The air is starting to clear on some things, and that's good. But yeah, it's been kind of a crazy week, and getting prepared for Twitch St. Louis this weekend, which we'll talk about more later, at a later date, later this episode. Yeah, lots of work. Today is my first day off in 8 days. 8, 9, or 10-hour days in a row. So,
perfect.
woof, lots of stuff. But yeah, this is your favorite podcast. If it's not, why are you listening to it? But this is your favorite video game podcast, at the very least. And your 3 favorite goofs are here. Eric is away on business. He had a business call, I think, come up for tonight. So it's just me, Sketch, and Ryan holding it down. So guys, say what's up to everybody once more.
What's up,
Howdy.
everybody?
And let's kick off the episode by getting into some news. I think we have a pretty interesting topic, and it may be interesting to me because I have been struggling with it all week, but we'll get there. Before we get there, we got some news. So, Xbox Game Pass is adding a bunch of games this month. One of them tomorrow, and it's important that you guys know this. So, what? On Wednesday, October 23rd, which is today, Lonely Mountains Downhill And Secret Neighbor came to Xbox Game Pass for Xbox One. Secret Neighbor is the sequel to Hello Neighbor and features multiplayer with one person being the neighbor and others being kids trying to break into the neighbor's basement. Holy shit, that sounds interesting now.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
The first game, the original game, you're just like trying to break into your neighbor's basement and the neighbor is AI. And I was like, I don't give a shit about that. But this is the asymmetric multiplayer.
YouTubers were having a good time with it.
All right. Maybe we should play this, guys.
Maybe we
Sure,
should.
why not?
I'll be your creepy neighbor. Tomorrow we're going to get Minute, which is a super dope indie game that people have been talking about for the last like year or so. It's a 60-second. It's a game that resets every 60 seconds. So you run around, go find some stuff, do some stuff, and then 60 seconds hits and you die or something, and then you start over and do different stuff until you beat the game. Apparently it's super cool. And then the big one, tomorrow as well at 11 o'clock or Friday if you want to wait. Outer Worlds, the game made by Obsidian, the studio that Xbox picked up a couple years ago, or I guess last year. Yes, last year. That comes out on the 25th or 11 o'clock tomorrow night. They are the people who made Fallout New Vegas, which is one of the best Fallout games that exists. And you can preload it right now. So if you are listening to this show and you don't have anything that you're not doing on your Xbox, go ahead and start pre-downloading that so you can play it on Thursday night. And then the last one, After Party, which I just sent a press list request for, is coming to Game Pass. So that is made by the guys who made Oxenfree, which was a super dope game about some teenagers on an island experiencing some creepy shit with branching storylines and stuff.
What After Party is about.
But After Party is about two people that wake up in hell and have to party harder than the devil to get out. And it sounds awesome. The trailer's great, so I'm super excited for that.
We had a big old voice cast I saw on Twitter today.
Oh, yeah?
There's a photo. So you got Janina Gavankar, Ashley Birch.
Yep.
Yep. Satan is Dave Fenway he was on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Fenway.
Yeah. So somebody from Oxenfree, naturally. Yeah. So there's the picture I saw had a bunch of others, but
Awesome.
it looks great.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And then you're getting Lego Star Wars and on the 31st. Lego Star Wars 3 on the 31st. So those games all sound dope. If you don't already have Game Pass, there's not much more we can say to make it clear you should get it. It's pretty great. But just to give the other side of the ball, because someone on this podcast complained that we only talk about Xbox, PlayStation stores free games for the week of October 22nd. Oh,
Terrible.
yeah, I can't even. Why is this so hard to find?
The Last
Oh,
of Us
that's not
Remastered.
terrible. So Last of Us Remastered, which is a good game, but it's like
Right.
6 years old. MLB The Show 19 is free. The Surge 2 has exclusive weapons. And
So
you
yeah,
get-
the Surge 2 is free DLC, and then they have free themes.
well, so it's not DLC though. It's a weapon pack.
yeah,
so you
but
get,
it's
like, you get
it's
a-
DLC. It's not the Surge the game.
No, you get weapons for Surge. That's it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
so you
It's
get
a DLC.
some twin blades, punching gloves, which are the best gloves, a double duty weapon, which makes them poop twice, and a heavy duty weapon, which is just one big doopies. Sorry, like,
That's terrible.
hey man, I got a 2-year-old that yells poop like every 10 minutes. And then you get some themes for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, their launch theme, Mortal Kombat 11, Destiny Connect, Disgaea 4, Spirit of the North, and then some avatars from Disgaea 4. So, that's your PlayStation stuff and your Xbox stuff. Wanted to write. Yo, what's up?
If you scroll down, the new Command and Conquer remastered teaser is more appealing to me than the PlayStation stuff.
Where is
At the
that?
bottom of that. It's if you
Wait.
scroll down to the bottom.
Yeah,
of
the
that,
next article that pops up, new Command and Conquer remaster teaser
So
shows off
good.
visual update.
So good. They're bringing back Red Alert and Tiberian Sun, and you can actually toggle between the graphics of 95 to now. You can toggle between 3840 by 2160 back to the original 320 by 200.
Oh,
Good
wow.
job, PlayStation. A different article next to yours was more interesting. What's up, Ben?
The remaster looks great.
Yeah, if you watch the trailer, you can actually see the difference. They actually do a transition between the two
Yeah.
visually.
I just
It
want
looks
to
really
play that
good.
game again so I can play as the Soviets and use their special unit, Tanya.
Yep.
Tanya. I just remember, like, that's like one of the
Think it
few
holds up?
sound bits from that game that I remember where you click on her and she goes, yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the people streaming and dying are all pretty iconic as well.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, yeah.
Pictures from that game are pretty iconic.
I
I would
remember,
sh- I
like, the
would
Tesla
stream
Tower
this game.
zap scream.
Every
Yeah.
day. Whenever it comes out, I'm gonna stream this game every day. I love that. I
You
love
think it'll hold up,
RTS,
though?
dude.
RTS has come a long way since then.
Yeah, it's a remaster. It just looks better. It doesn't play better. But I wonder, has
It probably plays
RTS
Hey,
come?
fine, but I think it has. I think it has. Like, if you look at
I mean, if they bring back like servers and everything, StarCraft is still relevant.
right.
That's true.
I mean, it's not
Who's
on
publishing
the same
that?
level as StarCraft, but
Who's publishing that Command and Conquer game? Is it in the article?
um,
West was it West?
No, Westwood.
Uh,
EA 8 Westwood.
Right.
Petroglyph Games and Lemon Sky Studios. That's the developers.
All right. All right.
I'm down with it.
That's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
It'll be fun. I just think it'll feel simple.
Yeah. Well, we will find
It
out.
was the OG. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta go back to the roots. Come back to your roots. All right, next one. This one's also from Twinfinite. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know if it's a big deal, but I don't know. I felt like I put it in here because someone's gonna bring it up to me at GameStop in the next week and be like, "Oh shit." Microsoft gaming revenue declined 7% year over year. Xbox content and services revenue remain unchanged.
Yeah.
So
Relatively unchanged.
relatively unchanged. Yeah. So yeah, I don't mean
Feels like it was a slow year in gaming, to be honest.
it was because everyone's gearing up for next year. PlayStation
Yeah.
doesn't publish their numbers, but I'm sure they have a little bit of a shrink right before the big blowout next year too.
It just feels like everybody found their game and then they played that for 3 to 6 months
Yep.
and then didn't buy anything else. Though the summer was pretty bleak for releases, except for indie stuff. You know, Annapurna never stopped. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Never stopped.
The main factor in the decline was due to selling less consoles, which is not surprising considering we're officially at the end of the generation.
Sure.
right.
So, yeah. So PlayStation's numbers probably shrank as well. They just don't publish them like Netflix.
I mean, they got a new one out of me this year, but
Oh, console?
yeah, just because mine shit out on me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, mine died last year. So my Xbox One X is a year old. I got it in August or September of last year because my old one,
My new DVD player.
my wife like unplugged mine while it was updating, and it killed it.
That's pretty
Beautiful.
fragile.
Oh, you know what? That wasn't actually it. I think it was the power supply. But she'd already said go get a new system, and I didn't tell her.
That's how marriage works.
Yeah,
Don't know
boy.
what if they don't know how it works, just go with it.
Yeah.
Broken.
So Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, called Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola their remarks disrespectful. There's a quote in here I gotta find that's real good. Oh, come on. I just lost it.
Yeah, that good.
Yeah, so good. My phone refreshed and went back to the top, and I don't know where it was. So,
Well,
this is good audio.
What are you trying to find?
I'm pretty sure Bob Iger said if they want to bitch about movies, then what did he say? If they want to bitch about movies, that's certainly their right, but it's disrespectful.
oh, that's not as good as I was expecting.
I mean, it's Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, and he said a bad word.
Damn.
Yeah, so if you haven't been paying attention, Martin Scorsese, like a week ago, was like, Marvel movies aren't cinema, which is the most I've got my nose up my own ass comment I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
And then Francis Ford Coppola came in a few days later and like sided with him. Yeah, and the internet's been ablaze with people being like, "How much money did your movies make?" Because Marvel movies make a ton of money, and then people on the other side being like, "Well, that's not the argument." But yeah, it's dumb. They're in the theater, their cinema.
There's one of the quotes. It says, "You tell me Ryan Coogler making Black Panther is doing something that is somewhat or other less than what Marty Scorsese or Francis Coppola have ever done on any one of their movies. Come on, there, I said it." I mean, he kind of threw it out there at him. Like,
Oh,
I'm gonna try and fight back without saying too many bad things.
yeah. He's like, if we were
He's like,
next to
"This
each
one
other,
movie's better than any of yours that you've ever done."
he's like, if you were next to me, I'd bite my thumb at you, sir. All right. So these next two things are the things I think we'll spend more time on because one's ridiculous and the other one's very good. So, did y'all see Fallout first
Terrible.
today? Okay. Okay. So Ben, do you know what this is?
Fallout first? Oh, I didn't know what it was called. Yeah, I know it's coming.
Okay, cool. So people who don't know, here it comes. Jesus. This is so dumb. Fallout 76 players can now spend $100 on a yearly subscription for exclusive in-game content.
Or $10 a month.
$13 a month.
$13 a month.
So here's Bethesda is inviting people to join Fallout First. This is from Game Informer, by the way. Thank you, Andrew Reiner. Fallout First, a premium monthly membership that gives players access to private worlds so you can play without other players fucking you over. Unlimited storage for crafting components in a new scrap box. A monthly allowance of 1,650 atoms and more. The membership costs $13, or you can get a hefty discount if you sign up for a full year for $100. Which that discount is $60, right?
Sure.
13 times 10 is 130.
$36.
13 times 10 is 130 plus $156.
$36.
Math.
Sure. Anyway,
This in
the
private worlds.
First sentence was the dumbest part. Hot on the heels of Bethesda delaying Fallout 76. Oh yes, we're gonna delay this update.
Well, they
but
delayed
go ahead
the
and buy our $100
Yeah.
a year thing after we already told you that we're not going to give you the new stuff now. Like,
Yeah.
come on now.
So here's the thing. I found out about this because today Jason Schreier tweeted. So Bethesda wants you to spend $13 for extra in-game stuff in Fallout 76 when they're delaying the DLC. And on Xbox Game Pass, you can play Fallout New Vegas, and Outer Worlds comes out tomorrow, which is also included for $10 a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. So, like, you get two full Fallout games for $10 a month, and one's brand new. Or you can get, like, fancy stuff for a game that...
It's obvious. It seems like a very obvious move to me for any studio to want to do this, whether it's a good idea or not. But it's obvious, right? They're not making any more money on their game, and they figure rather than selling people DLC, they'll try to get people on a bigger price tag or a subscription to keep them playing, because it's like the gym, right? If you pay for it, you feel like you got to go maybe, but maybe if you're paying for it, you'll feel like you got to play, and they're trying to keep people's right.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Keep people's money and keep them interested, and they have to keep the studio open, right? Ultimately, it's so fucking expensive to stay open.
Oh, dude, it's Bethesda. They're not hurting. They make Doom, Dishonored.
They publish Doom, but I hear you. It's good money.
Bethesda's not hurting. Bethesda and ZeniMax are like, they hold their own con.
Yeah, I guess. So, my immediate response is gross. Like, but do you think that it has enough of a fan base for that to mean anything?
Apparently, its fan base was a little revitalized after E3 and the Battle Royale and them announcing Wastelanders, which was bringing NPCs into the game. But now that that's been delayed, it's just weird that they would delay that and then be like, so $13 a month now? For
Yeah.
at the same time, it's not. I also read it as like a subscription to play the game, and it's not. It's like a subscription for bonus shit. So like, it's totally. If you want to do it, fine, go for it. I'd much rather spend $10 a month and get full games than spend $13 a month and get some colorfuls.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, if you grind it out, you can get. You can probably get that much in-game currency within a month's time, than getting an extra 1,600 atoms in game
Sure.
for free.
The writer of the article said it's a very strange move for a game that's not free to play. So
Right.
you buy the game and you have to pay for a subscription.
Yeah.
You know.
Boopy.
But I mean, some people, like, that's their life though. Like when Skyrim came out, like people bought Skyrim and then they played it for thousands of hours. Some people do that on Fallout games.
Right.
So I mean, you could fight like the amount of time that you're putting into the game, that a subscription isn't that big a deal, because time put in is gonna make that money seem minuscule.
Sure. Especially if it's like the only thing you play. Oh yeah,
Right.
$13 a month. It's just weird that it's that much.
Right.
Like what in the world are they offering that's worth that much? I don't know.
They just need to get the funding so they can put this update out.
I hope not. That'd be weird.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, so the last thing isn't anything I'm gonna read. It's just get the temperature of the room on the fucking Star Wars trailer we got on Monday night.
It felt very Abrams. Felt very grand, very heartwarming, very callback to like everything. But it's a lot of really cool, interesting new stuff, and lots of things to hypothesize over.
For sure. What are some of the hypotheses you have?
She was looking. All right, so earmuffs, everybody, come back when Caleb claps his hands. So just watch the screen when Caleb claps.
Yeah, if you don't want to hear spoilers from the trailer, look away.
So,
if you're listening to this podcast wise, 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
okay, but anyway,
5 minutes.
So the throne that is in the beginning is from an old Ralph Query concept art for the first movie. So that's pretty amazing.
That's
like
awesome.
Unused Star Wars concept art.
For like 40 years.
Right.
Yo.
Ralph McQuarrie, sorry.
Ralph McQuarrie.
And then she seems to be looking up at the Emperor at the end of the trailer. So I think he's in some sort of like spider robot.
Like a walk. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It looks like Rey and Kylo are fighting together when they destroy that statue.
Because he reaches for his mask. They hit that, and then he stops and goes like this to like take his mask off. Like, why would you do that in the middle of a fight?
Yeah. And there's a line in the when the Emperor starts talking, he says, "How long I've waited, and now here you all are together." Together.
Yeah, I feel like that could also be the rebels. Because he says, "Long I've waited for this moment, and your coming together will be your doom." Like your joining will be your doom. At the same time, it could absolutely be Kylo and Rey showing up and being like, "We'll do it together," and he's like, "Cool, this isn't gonna work."
There's two lines that really got me when 3PO was getting his eyes turned back on. So I wanted to see my friends one last time. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then the very last was just before it cut. It was Luke saying,
Force be with
will be with you, and then it's Leia that says always.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Super cool.
Pretty
Super cool. For those of you who aren't watching, for those of you who are watching, you just had the fortunate instance of seeing Ben rush through something so he didn't cry.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
C-3PO better be the Sith Lord. Just saying.
yeah. What is he
He's got a
doing?
voice changer
Why is he
the whole
Why is he
time?
powering off? What is he doing? He had like cords and shit hooked up to his head.
Yeah, he was like tapped into the system, so maybe they're like uploading star charts or something.
Oh shit!
Right.
Didn't he and R2D2 plug themselves into the Death Star?
Into the Death Star.
Oh my god! If that's how they find out
3PO
where.
never had his memory wiped.
What's up?
Because Part 2 has 3PO ever had his memory wiped?
I don't know.
I don't
If
know.
not, then Right.
Yeah, they're gonna use the scene when they were tapping into it in A New Hope.
So why are they hunting down the Death Star? By the way, is it because the giant kyber crystal in the middle?
That is weird. Why would they be going there?
Yeah, it's strange.
What's important about the Death Star wreckage?
Yeah, maybe the Emperor's body. I don't know. Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
What I did like about this, and we're about the 2-minute mark, so we can go ahead and wrap this up if you guys have nothing else to say. I love how the trailer showed off some new locations. Definitely a big fight coming, though they didn't show the big fight. Pretty neat. Man, that Rebel fleet is massive. I don't know.
Yeah.
How much time has passed, right?
The Falcon drops into frame, and it's like the whole backdrop.
It's that Michael Bay hyper zoom where the depth, like it looks like a wall of stuff.
Yeah.
So whatever. I don't know how the cinematography, but like, yeah, that's like a wall of Rebel ships. So either a lot of time has passed or word got out quick.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
like put a bunch of shit together and put
Last Stand. Yeah, let's go.
And I guess when the
fucking Death Star is coming out of the ice and fucking so good.
sounds structurally risky.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Oh no, they broke.
On top of the bridge are the shield generators, so you kind of don't want to like knock those around.
Yeah. Bang bang clang.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty. Oh, anyway, what I was about to say is they showed a lot, but it feels like they still didn't show anything. Like I still don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's 2 hours and 30 minutes long. 2:35. 2 hours 35 minutes. That's the longest Star Wars ever.
Yes.
So that's pretty freaking cool. And
we've got third row tickets.
Yeah. I hope that's not the end of the world. I've seen theaters lately that sort of like don't
have a super bad seat. Yeah. I'm hoping I get a screening for it. I get to see it before everybody.
I thought of going with Tech on Thursday. He's going to Ronnie's. So, and there's like seats available, especially if you're going by yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Just get one seat in between people that don't want to sit next to each other.
Yeah.
You know? And you can go like the Dolby DLX super screen.
Yeah, that's huge.
Like, makes the theater rumble. Yeah, I thought about it.
Ryan, are you a big Star Wars fan, or are you just kind of in the middle?
No, I mean I enjoy them.
Okay.
I don't get behind. I mean, I know the lore and all that stuff behind it, but I don't just nerd out about them.
All right. You didn't cry when C-3PO was like, "See my friends."
No, I mean it was a good line, but
okay, yeah. No, I mean that was no judgment. I'm just trying to like qualify.
The cry whenever somebody says something.
I was like, like shallow breaths. Okay.
Heavy panting increases.
Okay, so anything else anyone wants to talk about news-wise that's happened in the last week, last 7 days? Something that popped up. Did the Sea of Thieves stuff happen after the episode last week?
I suppose it probably did. Yeah. We've never talked about it. So yeah, there's the Fort of the Damned. That.
Yes.
But we could talk about that bounties maybe.
Yeah, we can. We do because we did play it. We did play it. Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Call of Duty comes out Friday. Yay.
Yeah, or tomorrow night if you want to go to.
Crossplay.
Yes.
So.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Finally, a developer big enough was like, PlayStation, fucking flip the switch, and they were like, okay.
Stop being an ass.
Stop being an ass.
Yeah.
All right. So our topic, and this, I mean, Call of Duty coming up at the end is probably a pretty good segue. Our topic for the night is something that I thought of today while looking at some things, and it is simply the question: are games too dependent on multiplayer? And what I mean by that.
Yes. What do you mean by
that? I wanted to clarify because I have a good idea of it, but to somebody else, they'd be like, "Yeah, what?" What I mean by that is, are there too many games that are less of an experience by yourself than... How does that sentence end? Because I lost track of my own thought. Are there too many games that feel less complete if you play them alone? Are there too many games depending on you having friends that have the same game or making friends that have the same game to have the best experience with the game?
Apex sucks by yourself.
Apex sucks by yourself.
Sucks. by yourself?
Oh, I don't think I'd play Battlefield by myself. If I would, if I
No,
did,
it
it would
would.
be for like 30 minutes,
It'd be
Yeah.
terrible.
or
Yeah.
like one session, which sometimes can be an hour.
PUBG sucks by yourself because even I mean yeah they have solo game mode, but it's just like, why would you want to?
Well, so
I
I get
mean-
I get solos in like Fortnite and PUBG because it's made free for all.
Right. But I mean, you're also don't have somebody to back you up if you get third partied. You know,
Sure,
it's
sure,
just
sure.
one of those situations that you would get bailed out if you had more people.
Yeah, and so like
Very diligent to try to put ourselves in other people's shoes. I wonder how many people out there play video games by themselves. You know, is that a thing, or does everybody party up? You know, or
Well, so
yeah, that's a good
I-
point.
we need some numbers.
I watch TSM Vis every day, and he streams Apex every single day for 8 hours, and he only jumps in by himself, and he plays with solos, and then he wins by himself. So I guess when it comes to if they're too dependent on multiplayer, is if how good are you to where can I play by myself and make a difference, to where you know it doesn't matter if I have any friends online. Like he plays games forever, and he'll win being the last one alive in his squad with 13 to 20 kills almost every game.
That too,
So, I
like,
mean-
too, how much of a hassle it would be for a streamer to organize teammates throughout the day, especially for 8 hours.
Sure.
Right.
You know, you've got party chat, you've got coordination, stuff like that. It's probably easier for a streamer just to get in there, especially a
Right.
professional streamer playing 8 hours a day.
Right.
Do his own thing.
But he does it because he has a skill too. Because I mean, he probably wouldn't be jumping in solo if he was not able to carry his weight. Or say, screw it, I don't need teammates, but there's no solo queue, so I'll play and win anyway.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
But Battlefield doesn't give you the option because you can't because there's no way to communicate unless you're in game chat, which none of them are in game chat ever, because the people that are playing are squatted up.
So 56% of frequent gamers play multiplayer games. I had stats on this when I searched it initially, and I clicked on the link, and then it went away. It's something like 42% of people that play online are playing with friends.
It seems to be a repeated topic. Forbes in 2014 said our video games becoming too focused on multiplayer.
42% of frequent gamers play with friends.
It's a lot.
55%
But
of gamers point out that video games help connect them with their friends. That's not worthy.
So let's just say half. And how many people play?
It's mixed because, like, if you do all games, it's like billions because of cell phones and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But if it's console games,
But think about it, like, yeah, I mean, I guess playing solo isn't a bad thing because I mean, I could play Call of Duty solo, like the game. Like I've been playing Call of Duty 4 and 3 with my buddy every Monday, but I've also picked it up and played by myself, like off and on throughout the day,
Sure.
that kind of thing, and it doesn't bother me because it's not that's not a game that's like I need a team to do something with. Like when you're on Call of Duty, you basically run around and then
Run
the
around like a
spawns
moron
change
anyway.
on you. Yeah, you're just
It's
running
not like
around
you
trying
stack
to
up
find
on the
anybody.
corner going like, go, go, go! You know,
Yeah.
like, just run around like morons.
Yeah, so I guess it depends on the multiplayer game as well.
So I know Rainbow Six Siege is a big thing, but imagine a co-op tactical shooter where you have one guy in your squad that's in charge of being in front. I forgot what they call that, but like
A point
say
man?
yeah, is it though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
So say they stack up on a corner, and then you have all these holograms behind them that different squad members can snap into.
That'd
So
be
it's like a pop. It's like a what do they call that type of cover that Gears of War is? The pop cover.
Pop, lock, and drop it.
Yeah. So it's like that, but you snap into positions, and then it like as you go, like the person in front gives the command, and you know, like it would just be neat to see.
Yeah, I want that game mechanic bad. Thanks for describing a thing I'm never gonna fucking get.
I'm willing. I'm putting it in the universe.
Yeah.
But, that'd be pretty neat. I just like to see games be more tactical. Like every time we get in a battlefield, we're like, "All right, guys, we doing it this time?" Yeah. 2 hours later, we're like, just playing like this.
Yeah.
and like nobody's.
Yeah, no, like after this podcast, straight up, let's call it now. Battlefield 4, let's work together. Let's not spawn anywhere but next to each other the whole time.
That sounds terrible.
Yep, we're gonna do it though. We're gonna work as a team.
We do work as a team, but like from a distance.
Yeah. Okay, we need to work as a squad.
There we go. Work
There are
as a squad.
times, though, where I take squad leader pretty seriously, and I'll let the squad go in ahead of me so that I can hang back and be a spawn point.
He's no Alexander the Great, everybody. You go, I got your back. I got your back. We're fine. We're fine. Oh, they're all dead. All right, hang on.
I just figure if we all die, then we just start over.
Then we die together. With honor.
Yeah.
With honor.
I couldn't keep a straight face while doing
honor.
that. With Honer. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt for a second just because I realized Ben's avatar in cast is Fatty Gruesome, which is the name of the journalist that this is what the
Fatty
name
Grossman?
that Dwight gives the journalist. It says Fatty Gruesome. He's a writer at this
Grossman, I'm a woman.
Patty Grossman. I'm a woman, but you still write for this blog, right? Yeah. Okay. It's the worst. Yeah. So, like, part of the reason I had this question and I've thought
Last
about
week
it.
I was Fanny Smells More, by the way.
Wait, is that from something?
That's also The Office.
What's that from?
That's when Holly fills out that survey to get a free stress ball right underneath Orville Teutenbacher.
Orville Teutenbacher. Oh yes, Fanny Smells More. Oh God, that show's great. I love that show so much. So the reason I thought about this a lot is because I've been playing a lot of Ghost Recon, which is entirely playable by yourself, but like it does feel like it's missing something. Like Ghost Recon Wildlands, you had a squad with you when you played by yourself, so you still had other people you were interacting with and like pointing in directions, and there was dialogue going on. And because you're playing by yourself in this game, which is, I get it as a creative decision, like you're behind enemy lines, they wanted you to feel more desperate. It feels I played last night for like 3 hours and I didn't say a word. And like nobody in my game said a word because I only did missions that like were go eliminate this guy, go eliminate that guy, go take out these drones. So there was no interaction with anybody.
Yeah.
And so I just played like 4 hours of stealth combat without saying anything. And I remember like getting ready to go to bed and being like, man, it would have been kind of nice to be doing that with a buddy.
Yeah.
Or to have a squad of guys walking behind me. As bad as the banter could be at times in Wildlands,
Yeah.
I would have preferred it to complete silence for 4 hours. Destiny's not super fun by yourself. You can't do a lot of Destiny by yourself.
Warframe's pretty bad by yourself. I mean, to you guys, it's bad regardless. But
It's not bad. It's just not my cup of tea.
Ass by yourself.
Ben played Sea of Thieves by himself last night for a while, and then Gypsy joined.
It was pretty bad by myself, and then we got in a big kerfuffle, and it was fun, and everybody was kind of working together. It was fun.
Yeah, I think to answer the main topic's question, no, they're not too dependent. Like, it has to be there. Multiplayer has to exist.
Right, but being too dependent, what I mean by that is that I'm not saying, like, should multiplayer exist in less games. I'm saying should more games make being alone more fun?
No.
Should Sea of Thieves have something in it that means when you're playing by yourself, it pushes, if you're in a solo sloop, it pushes more solo players together so you interact.
I'll tell you, I've had times where I went on a treasure hunt back when treasure was important to me because I was leveling up, I was grinding, and I would fill the entire top deck of my ship with treasure as a challenge to myself, and then try to get as much treasure on the deck as possible, and then ferry my ass to an outpost to turn it all in. So every time I saw another player ship, it was the most stressful. Well, some of the most, it's like PUBG level stress. In Sea of Thieves, I was by myself. So it's a mindset in that game and probably many others, to where you enter a PvP arena, and kind of just hang jerky on your belt and walk through wolf preserve. You know, it's just like, don't eat me. It's like it's fucking terrifying and really stressful and really cool. It's just a different mind state. So,
but like, is that assuming too much on the player for as a game developer? Like, if you want to talk like accessibility, like you can't plan that everyone would be able to find the way to make solo fun, and some people might bounce off of that. Like, I wouldn't take the time to figure that out because the process of going and getting so much treasure that I would be stressed out when people came would not be something I would be interested in doing and getting. I wouldn't be interested in getting to that point.
I think in that game, having anything on your ship at any time means, and interacting with another player is stressful because you don't know if they're going to screw you over, right? So anytime
That's
you're
why
carrying,
I killed them.
anytime you're carrying, it's stressful. So their sandbox is just all stress all the time.
Yeah, it is.
And whether you're trying to get hit by a fireball or you go to the bathroom and your teammate gets attacked by a kraken, it's just like it's this forever tenuous, potential shitstorm.
Yeah.
Have you guys checked out the new Apex
Yeah.
thing that's going on?
Yeah, it's fun.
I haven't played the Halloween mode yet.
Now, how often would you be able to play that by yourself without being able to interact with anybody?
Well, I'm an interesting case.
Wait, hold on. Doesn't it make you play by yourself?
Yeah, you're solo. But that's what they did is they created a solo queue
Yeah.
in a game. Yeah. But I don't think it's fun after a while. After a while, you're just dropping by yourself and doing stuff by yourself the whole time. You don't get to squad up. You don't get to have like your friends join in your game like you do like in normal squads.
That's what I set out the precursor. We need to try to set ourselves in other people's shoes. Like we're very social gamers. So some people probably don't care. As Caleb said, only 50% of them play multiplayer. That means the other 50% either plays Farming Simulator or they're still playing Skyrim.
Oh, the stats were like 50% of
gamers play multiplayer.
Multiplayer gamers play with friends. Nope. 50% of frequent gamers, so people that play like every day, play with their friends.
Yeah, so we just have.
What do the other half do?
Graphic.
Right, like
play Mortal Kombat and just fight other people all for 3-4 hours, right? Lots of games.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Or play Call of Duty and not party with
NBA
anybody.
2K, Madden, FIFA. Like
No, everyone I know that plays 2K is friends with all the people they play after a minute because they play so much.
But think of the games that are hyper competitive that are played across the world, like Madden and FIFA.
Oh yeah, any of the sports games, it'd be like that.
Racing
where
games.
They're playing.
Racing games are just now recently, thanks to Horizon or whatever else, more party centric. But for the longest time, it's Rocket League's big.
Rocket League, I play by myself with other people, doing doubles a lot of the time.
So what's the question then? Like, are games becoming...
My question's specifically about games that feel like they're missing something when you're not playing it the way
that's
you
a flaw in the game's design. Like, when we were playing Outer Wilds, there was nothing missing. I never felt like... at one point did I ever feel I wanted somebody with me in Outer Wilds.
Right.
Could be interesting. Could be really cool. But that game was designed around you being alone. So when your ship's hull cracks and you have to go out the hatch in space to fix it by yourself, it's an emotion. Right?
Yeah, and when you get hit by a planet because you're not paying attention.
Yeah, well, inside, because or an asteroid lands in your cockpit. That happened to me. A little meteorite landed. No, it was a probe. One of the probes landed in my ship. It went through the window and landed in the seat. Fucking crazy.
How the fuck?
I don't know. I recorded it. It's in my clips. But Ryan played inside. Playing with somebody else, and like Ryan was playing with his community. People were chatting. I know I was there. That's something. But like having somebody in the game and goofing off and laughing would have taken all the impact out of that game. Right?
Sure.
Let's go over that. How many impactful scenes, either in Red Dead or whatever else, was impacted because our party chat was full of people making yucks and just...
Oh, I leave most of the time. Or I mute him.
Down. Yeah. And so...
Yeah, that was the quietest time ever. Whenever I joined in...
When you join a party of people playing Red Dead?
Yeah. Yep. So
I was like, this is the worst, and I left.
Yes, and so like put that into a story-centric game. Like say they didn't take the control from you during a cutscene, and people were like running around, jumping up and down, looking like a video gamer when they're trying to when somebody's dying, and somebody might be one of the characters is crying, and there's some jackass teabag in the background.
I would love for that to happen, so and your friends like. just leans real close to the camera. Yeah.
That'd be great.
So if the game is boring without it, I don't know where to go with that. I'm sad I don't get to play Wildlands with you. Not Wildlands.
Breakpoint.
Breakpoint with you because that sounds like a lot of fun. I was sad I didn't get to play Wildlands either. So I don't know. Our games.
Have you guys ever played games that like have large multiplayer or cooperative components to them that you're playing by yourself? And ever wished that there was something about that experience that was different that made it more fun to play it regardless of whether or not you had friends there? That's what I'm getting at. Is because like I've run into that with Destiny. I've run into that with Ghost Recon. I've run into that with Battlefield. Like I want something that makes playing without a party more fun, because when you're playing without a party, it just drags. Like Battlefield, you know you can't get anything done. Ghost Recon, it gets quiet and real dull. Not dull, because I still enjoy the gameplay enough to keep doing it, but it's too quiet. I want Cortana in my head, quipping, right?
Yeah, Halo's pretty good by yourself.
Yeah, when you're playing Halo by yourself, Cortana and Chief are constantly back and forth. Maybe the Ghost Recon's the first time I've played an open world game that doesn't have hardly any story by radio show.
Right.
And I'm realizing how much story by radio show actually fills dead air.
Yeah, I guess. But like Borderlands did that so much that it was like overlapping itself. There was a point where like 3 characters were all talking at once.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awful.
Yeah.
I would say Call of Duty Infinite Warfare stands out as a pretty solid single player experience.
Yeah, but it was built for single player.
Right. So we're looking at multiplayer games that are missing something.
Or games that can be played with friends or alone, but feel like when playing alone, they really want you to be playing with friends.
Yeah, we're friends.
People say that Destiny and Division you can play it completely by yourself. But like
there are parts of Destiny you cannot.
That's true. Absolutely.
You absolutely need teammates to do things in tandem.
Yeah, and Division as well. But like playing through a strike in the Division, which is super complex, it has a lot going on by yourself. Like, there's no ability pairing.
Right.
There's no not synchronization, but like, what's that called when you mix team abilities well?
Combos. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not synchronization. Something. Anyway, there's none of that. And so like you're just like, yeah, I've got 2 things I can do, and then I have to wait until they recharge instead of like, hey, throw your super and I'm gonna do mine, and then you can go. And like that game is more dull by yourself. And I feel like if you're gonna make a game that you can play alone or with people, alone should be as fun as with people. Or not, maybe not as fun as, but definitely more fun than most of them are right now.
So who does it the best? What game can you jump into, regardless if your friends are with you or not?
Good question. Rocket League for you? Why is Rocket League? Is it because of the
Rocket League?
The chat?
It's so basic. That's why.
It's so basic.
It's a common goal. If I play doubles, we have to score. That's it.
Yeah.
We got to score and stop them from scoring. That's it.
But does it?
It's so easy because there's no misconception of what's going on. Like, if you get on the Division and you know that the best place to do this raid is over in this part of the map, and you go over there, but the other people don't want to do that, well, then now the team's separated entirely.
Sure.
On Rocket League, I only have to score on them, and I only have to defend this. That's what the team's goals are, and you have a quick chat. Yeah, the quick chat does help.
Sure.
Significantly.
Because you can still communicate, like, regardless.
Right.
Kind of like people playing solo in Apex and using the ping system.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty hard in Apex to, like, not let people know what you're doing. It may be hard to get them to pay attention and to do what you're doing with you, but you can at least be like, I'm going this way.
Right.
And they
Yeah,
can be like,
the Division gives you nothing. Like, I'm going to go defend over here. Well, they didn't hear me say that, so I guess nobody's going to know.
You go this way. I'll go home.
I'll go home.
To look at for examples.
What's up? Say that again.
Tech will play Apex regardless if people are playing with him or not, pretty typically. Although he's starting to get burnt out, so he said. He's looking for something else.
Yeah, he hates playing with randos now. Or he's
Yeah.
hating playing with randos more.
Me and him have been playing a lot lately, and we've been winning a lot whenever we play.
I need to play with
So-
you guys.
Caesar will play Destiny regardless. He's so in love with the universe that he doesn't want to. It's like his Ready Player One. He goes home and he logs in and he's just in the world.
Yeah.
Like I was doing for Warframe for a while. Now I go on just when there's something to do. But for a while I would just go in and log on because I just wanted to be there. You know,
Sure.
I wish I had more social areas where it felt like Ready Player One or like any cyberpunk book where you hear somebody going into the internet and going to hang out in a cafe in the internet. You know.
Yep.
So they like to put on their visor and they go in the world and they go hang out in the world and do things.
Yeah.
Like you go to a cyber cafe, you talk to people, you have drinks, all this kind of stuff.
Instead of going to a real cyber cafe and talking to people.
Talking to strangers, yeah.
Meeting new friends.
Ryan, you can't talk shit. You got pissed off trying to find parking for 10 minutes. We're like, let's go home. So,
Because playing
if you
games
could have
and
done that,
drinking is a lot more fun than sitting.
because
in a
playing
loud
games
bar
and
not
drinking, so
talking.
putting on the VR
Yeah,
headset and
exactly.
going to the fake bar and not having to park and hanging out with your friends on games.
I think if you're gonna go to a virtual bar to talk to people is a lot different than going and playing a video game.
I mean, we're basically at the virtual bar right now. We're just not drinking. Ben's drinking.
Okay, so imagine,
We're meeting online to talk.
yeah, like we've been talking about this for a while, and Chat VR is basically doing that, but Chat VR is fucking bananas. It's the craziest, strangest thing in the world. We're never going to have Ready Player One because it's always going to look like Chat VR. But, yeah, just imagine like going. I don't know what would like push it over the edge to where like that's a thing you would want to do. But like I know in Warframe like it would be really cool to like go to a bar with other Warframe players and people like sitting at stools and talking about stuff. I don't know. I just think that'd be neat. I know Destiny would be cool like this. Destiny's got ramen shops with benches. The tower's got places to sit all over the place, but there's no reason to
Guys,
interact. But
yeah, we're planning an episode of Sea of Thieves, or an episode of this podcast where we do it while fishing in Sea of Thieves.
yeah, why not?
Fishing and playing music and cooking. It's in the schedule, guys.
Yeah.
December 18th.
If Sea
okay.
of Thieves
There you go.
made it to where all of the like the lodges or the bar, as soon as you walked into it, it goes into an open access of all servers that if anybody's in the bar on their server, it all like compiled into one, and then as soon as you walked out the door,
Yeah, that
like,
sounds.
I think
like a
that would be
nightmare, but like you do that with instancing.
right.
As soon as you walk out of the tavern, you change instances, but then like
Yeah, maybe like
your ship might be gone at that point.
maybe have like a small cut, like a load screen or whatever when leaving.
Or door animation. That is,
Yeah.
yeah.
They do it on the boat anyway. If you die near somebody, when you're on the boat, when you're on the ferry of the damned, other people that are in the area are on the ferry of the damned. They walk through the door and then they're gone.
Yeah,
That's true.
but I'm talking about
But like a social
like
space
a
like
bunch
that.
of servers. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Destiny does with the tower.
So Caesar likes to log into Destiny because he likes the world, he likes the lore, he likes the gameplay, and likes the missions and all that stuff. I like this. It's basically my Warframe. I like being in the world, but I'm bored now that I've seen most of the game, so I don't feel like I can go on and do anything social. I think social might be maybe a missing element, Caleb, that we're talking about here. Imagine if you didn't care if your friends were on, because you could go on and just chat with people and it feels organic and comfortable. Like now, we have a ship pull up on us and somebody's like, we should get him in our party, and I'm just like, ugh, no. Stranger in my party? That's so weird. No,
I don't like that.
And thank God, because they were a little strange. The last people I paired up with to take down a fort were a little weird. Not all of them. One's mic.
I hope none of them follow you because they're listening to this right now. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, one's mic was broken, and somebody was had some social,
Oh, it's like when you and Nan were playing Warframe and streaming it, and that guy was like, he threw out like a test shot, and I was like, and he was like, they're onto me, and he left. Yeah, you don't want to chance that.
So I think maybe that's it. I think not it for everybody, but if there are these games that you don't want to play by yourself, then what would fix that? What would fix it for Battlefield? Let's fix it. with all the games that we don't want to play by ourselves. What would fix it with Battlefield?
Let's do that.
A ping system.
Fuck yes.
Battlefield has a ping system. Next,
Well,
No, they don't.
it's
You
there.
can point
have a
at bad
go to B,
guys.
that's
You
it.
can point at bad guys.
No, you can actually ping the ground, and you can ping tanks.
No, you can't.
Yes, you
You
can.
Play
can't ping the ground.
play Battlefield 4 again.
say
You can't
I'm
ping the
going
ground.
this way.
And
How? How?
With the button, the RB button, you just pings a spot on the ground, and if you touch the person, it says "person over there." It absolutely does.
No,
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't.
But you can't say like I'm going that direction. I'm gonna go up onto this hill.
No, because I remember in Battlefield 4 specifically, if I'm trying to mark somebody,
Oh.
it's not going over
Five.
there, over there. It's only the person.
5.
Oh, 5.
Nobody plays 5.
Yes, they do. And
It's-
I'm gonna play it again on October 31st.
Yeah, Brian, you should download it, homie. It's in the EA
no.
Access Vault. Do the trial month of that and play it.
Nope.
Cool, good talk. Yeah, Battlefield 5 does improve it, but it's still like
A lot. Like you can ping the ground, and it says, it's contextual. So
yeah.
it's pretty good. It's far from not being there at all. It's far from nothing. Anyway, so what else would fix it? Why would you want to play a game with 64 players by yourself? What would make you do that? Like, I like Battlefield a lot, and I will jump on and play by myself.
I'll play by myself occasionally too, yeah.
So, all right, so what game don't, like, you said Destiny. What would fix it with Destiny? Why don't you want to play Destiny by yourself?
I just feel like you're underpowered when you play by yourself. Like you have if you have 3 people running through and doing a strike, it's infinitely easier to deal with what's going on.
Yeah.
And then if they're
You
gone,
need like a power boost.
Something
if
like
you're
that.
If you're playing solo, that you get 10% more damage.
yeah, and maybe that means you have to like meter the rewards you get playing alone, or you can meter say you make it to play on solo mode, so that it's as difficult as it should be for one person, and you get solo mode level rewards. But you can also play on I have a full squad mode, and you get rewards that you'd get if you're playing with everybody. You know what I mean? Like that way you could make it harder. You can make it as hard as it is when you've got a full squad on yourself if you want, or it can be
All right.
more manageable.
So, chat, in case you weren't privy to the start of this, we kind of need your feedback. What game do you only play with your friends? What game that you only play with your friends would be more fun by yourself? Like, what could they add to make it more fun so that you would want to play it by yourself? A game that you only play with your friends. I'm trying to think what else I play. Overwatch, I don't think they could do anything different. I can't think. I don't know. Like, because it's such a team play. Like, Moncho plays it by himself all the time. He just loves the game so much he doesn't care.
I don't know if these games are super good examples of what I'm trying to get at, though. I'm not talking about multiplayer games. On the games that are built for multiplayer, and you're playing the multiplayer mode alone. I mean games that can be experienced with friends or alone. But playing it alone feels like you're getting less of an experience. Like the PvE in Destiny. That's a good example. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, where I could be playing the story I'm playing right now with a buddy, and like that would be great. But by myself, it sucks. Well, like
So
Overwatch,
So you're talking story mode
Co-op.
co-op stuff.
co-op
Stuff that-
not like online multiplayer like Call of Duty or Battlefield.
I mean, like there are things like talking about Battlefield getting a better way to communicate with your teammates like that. I think that does improve playing by yourself. Yes, but like the main point I'm making is that like there are a lot of games that you can do things cooperatively with your friends, but like say they don't require you to do it, and when you don't do it with people, you don't get as much as you do if you do it with people.
So I would say, that's interesting.
So you mean games like Astroneer?
I think Astroneer's got an element of that like dread, that loneliness and dread that you're doing this by yourself, right?
Yeah, but I've also had times where Astroneer's kind of fun alone.
Right. Just like like I said, there's
But I don't think I've ever had a bad time that having other people there has made it boring. Like having other people has made it significantly better.
Yeah,
every time. Like, there hasn't been a time that I've hated having other people in that game.
I think you're arguing the opposite point I am. I'm saying it's always more fun with people. Why does it suck when there's no people?
I think you're just kind of explaining the human condition.
Yeah, every time I have someone join me in a game, I'm like, cool, I get to do it with my friend. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way you can like dialogue or discuss your way out of this. I think if you're a well-adjusted human being, you like being with other well-adjusted human beings that want to cooperate with you.
But there wasn't
a
like
game can have amazing dialogue. Let's say Borderlands 3 I heard didn't do it as good as Borderlands 2. So Borderlands 2 is an amazing radio show, right? It's funny.
yeah.
But it's always more fun to laugh with someone else.
But I don't know if I had less fun playing Borderlands 2 by myself.
Less wait. See, this is the crux. You don't know if you had less fun by yourself?
Yeah. Borderlands 2 was a lot of fun alone.
Firstly, you're not sure if you had more fun with other people.
Ooh.
So you can't say that you had a better experience with your friends in Borderlands than by yourself.
I'm saying that playing by myself wasn't bad enough that I didn't do it.
Okay. I mean, that's a little different of a conversation, right? I feel like if you were wishing your friends were with you the whole time, then there was something lacking. I think Borderlands 2 is pretty special in that way. There's always a lot to do. The pace is pretty good. There's always audio. So you're always like engaged.
Borderlands 3 did not do that. Like I played the first 4 hours of that game by myself, and I was like, this is boring. Lame.
What other?
I didn't want to play XCOM with other people. Tactical games feel pretty exclusionary. Whatever. Solo feel good solo.
So you didn't want to play it with other people?
Not necessarily. I mean, it would be fun in a versus situation. Like I want to play you against you in BattleTech, or even maybe with you. But like the story, I feel like I'm fine by myself.
I feel like my question was bad. I feel like my topic was bad.
No, I wouldn't say it's bad. I think the
like it's super specific. I think
the understanding behind the question is where it gets a little more.
All right. Well, let's get into you say, do games build around multiplayer too much?
Are games too dependent or build too much? Like, but Black Ops 4.
Yeah. Do games require you to make friends too much? Like Sea of Thieves, when I first started playing Sea of Thieves, I got a lot of friends, like 7, 8, 9, 10 people added to my friends list.
It's been a minute since I've played a game that's made me do that. I used to do that too. Like I would play Halo and play with a bunch. Remember Mactabulous and like that whole group of people? We'd play Halo 4,
all the
3
we know
Reach
now
with
from games in the past, right?
Right.
You know, Battlefield mostly.
The last time I added a new friend was, other than like 2 weeks ago, was like 8 months ago.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but when 360 was around and Modern Warfare, or the original Modern Warfare was out, I was adding people like every other day, just because like it was the hot game that everybody was playing, and party chat wasn't really used. Well, party chat wasn't used as much. I mean, it was there, but you could only. I think then you could only had like 5 people, 6 people. So if you wanted to play like Halo, you had to go to game chat. Like Big Team Battle, you had to go to game chat.
I miss Big Team Battle so bad.
So I mean I think it's changed so much that you can have like 12 people in a party now. So you can just have all of your friends in one place instead of going into game chat and finding new friends.
Yeah.
So what happened? Why are you adding less people now? What happened?
I'm in a party chat the whole time.
So it's the advent of the party chat that made us stop interacting with other people.
Yep.
It's starting to feel like there's a chain reaction thing going on. We added Moncho and Caesar into our friends list because we got in a squad with them in Bad Company 2. But we don't do that anymore. Now, if we're not in a party with them, we're flying solo or we're against them.
See,
I also don't feel like I'm going out and looking for friends. And back in the 360 when I was getting started, I was.
Yeah. But like nobody.
So I need to get tired of my friends again. So I need to find new ones.
Well, like
you need to play a game they're not playing, so you have to go out and find people that are playing it.
like
fuck you,
right?
Yeah.
I'll use Apex as an example. If I play with somebody, like if I jump in solo and I find a random that's really freaking good and we just want a game, I add them. Or I don't add them then. invite them to my party
Right.
on Apex and
Yeah.
we play more.
For sure.
Right.
And then we end up playing like 3 or 4 more games, and then I add them and then I get off. But it's just like there's not that whole lot of games, because if you play Call of Duty and you find a guy that goes 30-1 in a game,
Might not be in the next round.
yeah, well, you're not going to invite them because there's also 8 other people on your team. Having a smaller team makes it a lot easier to do that, because you're like, oh, okay, well, there was only 3 of us, and we know how we all play. We can just jump. We can invite these people back in to play again.
I think it has something to do with chat, though. I think, for whatever reason, my memory is going back far enough to say that it's because you talk to these people, you find out they're like socially normal and easy to talk to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not a wackadoo, they're not an asshole, so they're not inflammatory, they're not toxic. You're like, okay, I can groove with this person.
You're not one of those guys with the stereo blaring in the background.
Right.
Oh my God!
I had such on his mic.
I had such a visceral internal reaction when you said that. Like, oh, that guy. Ugh.
Like Gypsy and his clan on Sea of Thieves are so freaking cool. All Sails West, or All Points West, or whatever, and all the people I've played with for over a year now, like, and they all listen to either this show or the shit show, and they all buy my books and stuff like that. Like, they've like fully integrated with our lives. So like, and then not to mention the boys from Chicago and Eric and all that stuff, like, we're all planning to hang out with these people. So, like, and that requires you to talk to them. And I think if you're in a party chat, you're never going to get that experience. So I think if you really want a multiplayer experience, but you're unwilling to just join a random ass squad to do it, like, is there any matchmaking in Ghost Recon?
Well, yeah, there's a full multiplayer.
But
Guys, I'm also realizing I've never used LFG in my life. And I could use LFG to find people to play a story with.
Yeah. So we're just getting old and grumpy and
Oh no!
we just don't want to.
Or I just enjoy playing with my friends that I don't want to give a shit about anybody else.
Yeah, no, that's it.
If they're not on, you would rather just go do something else.
I just get offline.
Right. I guess I'll go read a book or something.
I guess I'll go, like, be alive right now or something.
Do something besides video games.
I guess I'll just go be a human.
So isn't that crazy, right? Like, you would rather not do the thing you sat down to do
alone than
your friends aren't on.
Yeah.
Than possibly go meet somebody who loves this thing just as much as you do.
Yep.
That clearly your friends don't.
We're socially awkward even on the internet.
That's fucking me up right now, because this was all about this. Like, me posing this question was all about, like, games fucking need to be more fun alone when my friends can't be there. And the reality is, like, no, Caleb,
no, you
fucking make new friends, asshole.
Be an adult and fucking move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop requiring the game to do something it wasn't designed to do. Although I will say in Breakpoint that if they had, like, Tom Bissell or, like, somebody writing the dialogue, the script, or somebody like a world-class writer, even if it's some military fiction writer or something like that, or some veteran who writes books, come in and write all the dialogue, so when you're walking around, your teammates are all telling stories, and it's not about, wasn't there some sort of period joke in Wildlands that everybody took and ran with? Right?
Oh no, it was a cutscene with a rape joke in it.
Oh
yeah,
that's a little worse than
it was bad.
Period joke.
But, like, Breakpoint is written by ex-Spec Ops guys that have written books, and the cutscenes are fantastic, but there's no dialogue in between those.
But
all the cutscenes in that game were like,
that dialogue was so bad.
Oh, the enemy dialogue? Yeah, the barking's not great. Yeah. But the cutscene dialogue's awesome. It feels like they were done by separate teams. Like, someone had to do barks and someone had to do cutscenes, and the barks were like guys that watch Steven Seagal movies, and the guys that did the cutscenes. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
You said, is this why people fear single players going away? Do people fear single players going away still?
I don't think they do anymore.
Because most indie games are single player, and indie games are fucking kicking ass.
That's not even it. It's that, like, God of War Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
and Horizon Zero Dawn, and Legend of Zelda, and Super Mario Odyssey. They're
Last
5 like Game of the Year quality games that came out in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Red Dead 2. Yeah.
Yep. The Zelda game, Breath of the Wild,
Yep.
Last of Us.
Everyone was like, single player's dying, and then single player showed up big.
Exploded.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I was in my feelings today, guys. Apparently, I don't play games with my friends as much as I want to, and so I was like, these games should be more fun, so I don't need them anymore.
I have 8 more comic book pages to draw, and I can actually have a normal life again and get online and play video games at night. I'm very, very excited.
And I'll
about
just
this.
keep getting online and not playing with you guys because you're not around.
I'm playing Sea of Thieves or Warframe. I'll
I've been
reiterate.
playing
I'm
Sea of
more
Thieves.
excited.
I've been having a good time playing Sea of Thieves.
Great. I can't wait.
I just need to
We
be
gotta play those story missions that you guys have played.
unleashed. You just
Yeah,
gotta let me
Ryan's
kill
like, I
people.
just want to be an asshole though.
You just gotta let me kill people. You gotta stop restricting me, man. You gotta take
There's
me-
literally a moment in the last Sea of Thieves gameplay where Ben goes, Ryan, you can kill whoever you want without any regard for rules, except for right now. Right now, I need you to be a nice, good person. Ryan's like, okay, fine.
Damn it.
Yeah, I really want to play the story missions with you guys a lot. Like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
whole lot.
We should make time for that. I don't know. Did I have
why
any
did we
other
bring that
questions?
up, though?
Huh?
Well, I forgot why I brought that up. Oh yeah, because my life's about to change for the better. So, yeah, pretty nice. Comic books take over. I guess any passion project, right? Like if you are rebuilding a car in your garage, or house training a puppy, or like I don't know, like building a
Raising a kid.
quilt for your grandma or something. I don't know, like
Building a quilt?
knitting. Oh, there's different ways to build. There's different ways to assemble a quilt. I guess I don't know. Any hobby that you put above every other hobby, something you want to finish within a particular time.
Any hobby you must go to a lobby to finish.
Yuck.
That was bad, wasn't it? Yeah, I hate myself a little bit every day.
I do want games like Destiny and Warframe to be even more social. It's really strange that there's no reason to interact with people in those social spaces other than doing emotes and dancing. That's very weird to me. It's very strange you can't go and sit in all of the chairs that all these poor modelers had to model. You can't sit in them and
Yeah, that's a
interact in some way. And
Yeah.
even in Warframe, spoiler alert, you're not just a giant metal suit walking around, you're a child.
Wait,
So,
what?
like, you're a child. So, like, why aren't there childlike things to do? Why can't you, like... I don't know. Like, why can't
Ben's
you...
like, I want to spell spaghetti with blocks, okay?
not that young of a child, but, like, I don't know. Or
I
Destiny,
want to
like,
spell things with my spaghettios.
you can take your helmet off in Destiny, but why?
Right.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
Why do you take your helmet off? You don't talk. You don't interact with people.
So
other
they
than
should add a
throwing-
kissing thing. So I can take my helmet off. And if you do the kissing emote with your helmets on, it's like, clunk.
clunk. Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't know. I want to call to arms. I want more social places and social games. I'm sure there are successful models out there. I'm sure Final Fantasy probably has something. I'm sure Warcraft has tackled this a long time ago.
Anthem had something pretty great. Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. It didn't.
Okay.
Like they didn't even. There's not even a game anymore.
Ryan was like, really? Oh, I saw a hardtimes.net post that Luke shared with me today, I think, that was like, Anthem does special spooky Halloween event for player still playing. Like the one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look at when you catch a fish in Sea of Thieves, you show the people your fish, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
I caught a trophy fish and then it
was massive.
was huge and then I disconnected or something and it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
But so I just think like if you had to sit down at a bar and you got a drink and you could talk about the drink, or you ordered food, like look at the food in Monster Hunter. How gorgeous is the food in Monster Hunter?
I'm so hungry. Stop it.
It makes me hungry watching that food in Monster Hunter. It's so beautiful, but you can't do it with other people. You can sit in Monster Hunter though. That's pretty cool. You can actually sit.
Yeah.
Oh
think.
boy.
Yeah, boy. But like, see what I mean? Like, why aren't they designing more things?
Guys, there's a Twitter account dedicated to "Can I pet the dog" in this game.
Right. So why
Why
Aren't
not?
there more
Why not
social-
make everything interactive? Yeah.
It's really strange. Like these games are based on interacting with other players, but only with a gun. It's really
Also,
strange.
like other players, there has been like a thing for a minute about other people in games kind of being dicks. I think we're on the way out for that mostly. People are like pretty cool in most places. It's like the sheer number of people that have interacted with Nan while she's playing, and have interacted with me when I join stuff. Like just in the last couple of years, it's been pretty encouraging.
Yeah.
Like there've been a few people that have been like, cool piece. I'm gonna ban
Have you
you.
guys ever watched some VR chat?
No.
You need to. It's very unique. It's a very
He's saying very unique, and what he means is it's disturbing because it
it
is.
can be, but like it's this very significant sliver of humankind and our relationship with technology. I swear to God, I'm not understating or overstating. It's people interacting with a new technology completely unbridled, and all of their fucking weirdest inhibitions are coming out and they're interacting with each other. So I say I wish I could have people sitting at a bar in Sea of Thieves, but you'd really be those assholes jumping all over from table to table, like completely ruining the mood, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever sort of seriousness you think you're gonna have.
Do you
with
know
this
Dwayne?
experience, there's always gonna be some moron shooting people in the head, even if there's no damage turned on. You know,
Right.
like the lobby in PUBG, right? Just people acting completely fucking batshit insane.
Yeah, when they had to take the guns out because it was fucking lagging shit out.
Yeah. So now you what throw
Apples.
You can throw apples
Yeah.
at each other. Yeah.
How do you like them apples? That's how I laugh when I hate my jokes.
That's your Halloween laugh, I think.
Yes, it was.
Um,
Oh boy. Ugh. On that note, what have you all been up to in terms of games this week? So we wrap up our show every week with bounties, and bounties are what we've been reading, watching, playing, listening to. Yeah, that's those four things. I've said it like there's going to be an and. Reading, watching, playing, or listening to. And why we think you should be interacting with those things as well. So, well, Ben, you started to describe a thing earlier, so why don't you go first? What's been on your mind this week?
well, I played actually a good chunk of Sea of Thieves this week. They announced or they released the Halloween stuff. So if anybody's been playing, when you die, you get a different colored lantern. So now, if you collect all 6 colors, take it to a fort with a special skull, you unlock a special fort with special enemies, and you get a whole lot of loot.
Yeah, and then people come and steal it from you.
Yeah, but like unlike the other forts, if you are at a regular fort and you're fighting it, there's no indication on the rest of the map that this fort is active. If the fort's active, there's a skull. If there's somebody at that fort, the skull does not change. So you don't know if somebody's at a fort or not unless you lay eyes on them.
Yeah.
This fort, the eyes glow red. So the whole map knows that the biggest pile of loot in the game is actively being pursued. So everybody shows up and either antagonizes or supports. So that's pretty interesting. So we failed miserably the first time. We didn't even get there. Second time, we got it with much tribulation. And the last time I met up with a bunch of strangers and did it. It's a pretty good time. It's interesting. It's a challenge. It's very difficult. And it's really spooky and cool.
Spooky crisp.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
The first night was not.
I don't feel compelled to do it again.
No.
I've done it 3 times and I'm fine. And there's elements of the game you guys haven't even played yet, so we need to do that. And then Battles Tech was on sale, so me and Caleb downloaded that. So I've been playing BattleTech or MechWarrior my entire life, so I'm very excited to get into this. It's a little old school in its click for story delivery method. There are some cutscenes. There are 3D models that don't have voices or emote. It's just a 3D model with dialogue over it, and you have to click through it. It's strange. It's almost like they have a smaller team. It feels like one of those really huge D&D games that they just didn't want to record every voice for. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, it's like a 60-hour game with branching paths,
Yeah,
and they just didn't have the budget to fill out
every
a bunch of
character you
lines.
make, I'm sure has an effect. Like you can be inner rim, outer reach.
Oh, I love the names of
different
like the
royalties and
Outer
families.
Rim Periphery and all those.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's Game of Thrones deep with all its lore, and I think because it's BattleTech, that lore is legit and has been there for decades, which is
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
yeah,
So the gameplay's not as fast and smooth as XCOM. There's not a lot of go go go. It's a lot of sit around and wait for things to happen, which is not really what I wanted. I don't see a lot of automatic sort of XCOM style behavior down the skill trees, so it doesn't look like it's going to get much different. But I do know the mechs are going to get more advanced. You know, we're all fighting like we're a ragtag team of mercenaries right now. So I know once we get to like the 100-ton Atlas and stuff like that, it's going to get a lot more interesting.
yeah,
But
for sure.
but there's those line of sight and speed and heat and cooldown and
Stress, all that stuff.
yeah, and how tipsy your mech is. Like you can knock them over and stuff, depending on stability is the word. So it's interesting. I'll definitely
Tipsy. My mech's drunk.
everybody in the region's getting tipsy. So like it's interesting. I'll keep playing it. It's not as high polished as I was led to believe because everybody was talking about it for years. I think it came out in 2016. It was all the rage, and it's not. It's not gorgeous. It's not beautiful. It's not amazing, but I will keep playing it.
Did you guys ever play Hellhound?
BattleTech came out last year, dude.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Nuh-uh, no way.
yeah.
Fuck, that's not the game I'm thinking of.
April 24th, 2018.
Interesting. I guess I was on my old shitty monitor, so the 8 looked like a 6. You know, it doesn't look like a 2018 game. It's really strange. It doesn't. It's not blowing me away, and I've got it on max, so it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. I mean,
It's not
XCOM
like-
doesn't look like a crazy.
But,
Like,
okay, so
I don't know if
there's
I've played a
difference
turn-based strategy
between
game that's like beautiful.
Good point.
I don't think that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
So in this game, can you like put different weapons on your
oh yeah,
mechs?
it's all fully
Okay.
customized.
Yeah, you can. They all have like
So-
hard points and shit, so you can fully like optimize a single mech for like long-range missiles.
Yeah, you have to
Have you
install
guys
heat
ever
sinks,
played-
and you have to put ammo in places that won't overheat, so it doesn't explode when you heat up. Stuff like that. It's pretty.
Did you
cool.
ever play Chrome Hounds on 360?
Yeah, that game is crazy.
It's basically that then,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
you're
just
playing as
turn-based.
a turn-based. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like chess. Like
There
the
is a-
chess
there is a
chronos.
real-time MechWarrior game. It's a simulator. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yep. People get
'Cause
really
I-
into it with
Because I had
open
full
joysticks.
like snipers with howitzers and shit like that on
Yeah.
Chrome Hounds, playing online battles and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it'll get more fun when I have a bigger arsenal to play with.
Oh, I've heard stories about that game that like I can't wait to see something like it, where like you're fighting and an enemy realizes that it's doomed and can't win, and rather than like trying to get away, the AI decides like, well, at least I can take a couple of you with me, and like goes and murders a couple of, like attacks the cockpit, not the mech,
Yeah,
to kill the
right.
pilot.
Yeah.
Not just like blow up your mech. Like, nope, I'm gonna fuck this guy up and this guy up.
Man, there was a old MechWarrior cartoon back in the day.
That can't be good. Was it
It
good?
wasn't. No.
Okay.
And they had and they had did I guys ever tell you the story of the bar I went to? The MechWarrior bar?
Nope. I don't think so. I mean, we talked. No.
It was in Walnut Creek in California, in the Bay Area. People will debate if that's Bay Area or not. It's suburbs, but and I was pretty young, you know, mid-teens, and I walked by and there's nothing but guys in there. And Mom's like, "Yeah, we're not going in there." So, because we didn't know what it was, just a bar full of like nothing but guys. So she's like, "Yeah, we're not going in there." So we figure out later it's a fucking MechWarrior bar, and there's like lasers and giant full-size robot arms like hanging from the ceiling and stuff like that. Like it was all done up on the inside.
Yeah.
Like a Disney resort or a Disney attraction. So it's like playing laser tag. So you get in, you sign up, and you get in with a squad, and you go through training with a video training saying like, we need to get you in the cockpit now with some like video players. And then you actually go sit in a cockpit and you shut the cockpit over you. It's got like on a rail, you shut like the canopy, and you've got a screen with 2 full bays of switches, a throttle, a joystick, and you can communicate with people in your team. So it was like an online multiplayer test like a video game, and it was all interactive and awesome. So it's just like playing laser tag, where you come out and see your scores and all that stuff. But yeah, it was fucking Mech Warrior.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
nuts.
been playing Mech Warrior my whole life. And here's a screenshot. This is what it looked like. Hey,
Yikes.
exactly.
Oh wait. Oh, I can't see it. You shared it to the chat. That's fine. Anything else other than games? Anything you're watching or listening to or
Yeah,
reading?
we finished Fleabag. That's freaking incredible. Very very amazing TV show, and we're working our way through The Expanse right now. The Expanse is very good, very high concept sci-fi.
How far
Very
are you
good.
into it?
Like we're going slow. It's like we're on like episode 6 of the first season, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
First season's great. There are moments in that show when I was watching it when I was like, "Wait, this was on Sci-Fi?" Because like
yeah.
Sci-Fi was known for kind of gimmicky, goofy shows for a long time,
Yeah.
and then this show was
Did you
like,
see that? Did you see the part where they were all when they're on the Mars ship getting attacked?
when they're in the brig,
Yeah.
and the guy's like, "Calm down, eat this bar," and tosses it, and then it
Yeah.
goes silent, and the bar goes backwards.
Yeah.
Ugh, yes, because they're shooting like rail guns, and like
It went through the entire
it
ship.
went through the entire ship and punched a hole right where this guy's head was.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Pretty great.
I remember I rewound that scene. I was like, "What?"
And
And
all the
like,
blood was like getting sucked into space.
Yeah,
through the
dude.
hole. Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Thomas Jane's killing it. He like in this episode, he's really coming across as a little weird, introverted, kind of nerdy guy.
Mhm.
Like he just talks. He's all like quiet and calm and to himself, and kind of he's kind of mousy.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, he's a really interesting character. I like him a lot. I have never really watched anything where Thomas Jane could really do any sort of significant acting, but I dig him in this role a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coolest beans. Ryan, what's your bounties for the week, homie?
Let's see. I've been playing some Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 4 with a buddy of mine for the past few weeks on our couch co-op, and then we've just been playing in our downtime. So I'm actually not too upset about how that game plays. I was only playing Blackout, which is the battle royale of it, but I've been playing the multiplayer and stuff, and the hardcore mode's pretty good. So we've been doing that, and then I played World War Z today for the first time since that's
How's
on
that?
Game Pass now. It's really good, and we played the co-op campaign. So there's 4 different missions, and they each have 3 scenes that you go through. So it took us like 4 hours to get through the first one. If not, it would have took a little bit less time, but we were trying to get new people into the game.
Yeah.
But you have to like get to certain spots where you have like choke points, and you have to set up certain defenses, and you have to be able to get into certain doors to get more defenses to fight off the next like horde that's coming in. But it gives you like 2 minutes before the horde shows up, and then you have to find all the defenses you can within those 2 minutes, and then you fight it off. But there's a storyline between each one of them. So we only played the first one, and there's 3 more that you can do. But then they also have like a Left 4 Dead style multiplayer where people can play as the zombies and as the other guy, as like the mercenaries. So I haven't played that yet. I really want to, so we'll have to see. I might end up playing that sometime this week or weekend or whatever. But yeah, it was a pretty fun game. You level up guns. You get coins for like getting certain XP on your guns by using them more, and then you can buy an upgraded version. So the next time you get that gun, it's the fully souped up one that you paid for.
Yeah.
Instead of like the basic. You can do it all silent, or at least not all of it, but for the most part, you can get through some areas if you have a silenced weapon. You can get through most of those without having to fight like a huge amount of zombies and alerting them.
Sure.
But yeah, it's pretty fun. What I've been watching more of Sons of Anarchy. I'm in like the second to last season,
Okay.
and
That shit gets wild.
it's getting to the point of I don't want to start another episode just for the fact that like
stuff
certain
is starting to
people-
go bad.
like it's starting to go bad and like it's just idiotic what's happening. Like
Yeah.
certain people are telling other certain people things that are happening that those people don't need to know what's going on, and then that person makes it worse for the person that told them, and like it just fucking spirals down like out of control.
Yeah.
Like the mom of the main character, she's the worst fucking person in the world,
Yep. She's definitely the villain of the show.
and he keeps and he keeps telling his mom this shit. It's like, why? Like, your wife almost died because you told her this episode, and your best friend died because you told her this. Like, dude, what the fuck? Just either
Shut up.
kill her or don't tell her anything.
Yeah.
Freaking idiot. So yeah, it's just I don't understand what like the like I mean I guess I get the storyline, but man, it is so dumb, so dumb.
Yeah.
But still, it's such a good show though. It's such a good show though. So
Apparently that show's Macbeth. It's basically Macbeth. Not Macbeth. Hamlet.
Hamlet. Yeah.
Yes.
so
Lion King is also Hamlet.
Lion King's also Kimber the White Lion. So,
Kimber the White Lion's Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Caleb, what about yourself?
I have been playing some Ghost Recon because that is a lot of fun. I've also been playing a game called Disco Elysium, which is a fucking bananas RPG on PC that like has something around 800 hours of gameplay in it because the story can branch so widely and in wildly different directions. It takes you about 25 to 30 hours, maybe 40 hours to complete. But, like, there's, like, 30 or 40 different traits that you can pick at a point that lead you down different paths.
Wow.
And the art style is super dope. I've only played it for, like, an hour, but it's super unique. It feels like I'm playing a Neil Gaiman book.
Yeah, that's
That's
cool.
probably the best compliment I could give it. Ghost Recon. I haven't really been playing much else. It's been a busy week. I've had a lot of like, the rest of the gameplay that we have so far of Pursuit Generations is all like done, edited, mastered, uploaded, scheduled. Episodes 1 and 2 of Halo 3 were this week, Monday and today, and then episode 3 of Halo 3 is Friday. So I did that this week, and a lot of other work stuff. So my in-between times when I have time to game, it's been Ghost Recon and Disco Elysium.
Are you reviewing this or no?
No.
Okay.
No. What's the show I'm watching right now? Amanda and I fell off of Good Place, not because we didn't want to watch it, but just because like we haven't had much time to watch shows recently.
Sure.
So yeah, when I'm doing work, I have The Office on, so I haven't been watching anything really either. Music wise though, I have been listening to music because that's what I do while I'm doing all this other work. I know I mentioned a few weeks ago that Drew Lou had a new album out because that came out. There's another musician I listen to named Sasha Sloan, and she just put an album out called Self Portrait. It's kind of a mix of like pop and singer-songwriter stuff. Super good. And Fantagram had a single come out like yesterday.
Okay.
And it is good.
Cool.
And Fanagram's been kind of quiet for a minute. Also, there's a band called Brother and Bones from London. They're incredible. They haven't made music in like 4 years, and they posted a video on their YouTube today. And when I got the notification, I was like, what? And they've got new music coming, and it's super exciting.
What do they sound like?
They are like folk singer-songwriter turned rock. So their older stuff is a little more slow and folky, and their new stuff is rock and roll. But the singer's voice is super unique and super good. And not unique in the like Coheed and Cambria like, what did he just say? Unique? Like unique in that it's like smoky and awesome all the
What's it
time.
called?
Brother and Bones.
All right.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. The first half, like I said, the first half of their discography, they only have like one full album and a bunch of singles. But the first half of their music that you can find on YouTube is super slow, or folky acoustic stuff. And then as they've gotten more popular, they've evolved into new stuff, and it's good. It's super good. So we normally have a segment at the end of the show called Smurf Facts, but I think Smurf's been coaching like football or soccer, and he's been super busy the last few weeks because he hasn't been giving us one. I did take the liberty of finding one. I don't know which one to do. I'll do this one. Because I actually brought this up when I was over there. While Scotland proudly boasts the Loch Ness Monster as one of the most famous fabled creatures, the country opted to make another mythical beast its national animal. Does anybody know what this is? The national animal of Scotland.
National animal of Scotland is a mythical animal?
Yes.
Is it a griffin?
It is not.
Is it... boy, mythical animals. Unicorn.
The unicorn. Although this might seem like an odd choice, Visit Scotland explains that unicorns played an integral role in the country's history. Back in the 12th century, William I used the proud beast in the Scottish royal coat of arms. So Scotland's national animal is the unicorn.
That's adorable.
Yeah. And in other news, space smells like seared steak or hot metal.
What?
Yeah. According to some former astronauts, space does have a distinct odor that hangs around when they come back in the ship after a spacewalk. They've described it as hot metal or searing steak.
Wow. That's weird.
Space smells.
That's kind of blowing my mind a little bit.
Imagine getting a hug from someone in a spacesuit like, you making steak? No, I was just in space.
Wow. I wonder if any fiction has covered that or mentioned it.
Yeah, I don't know. Text said it's a motherfucking unicorn. I'm sorry that I missed when you probably said that as I was asking. Yeah, I don't know if that's ever showed up in fiction. Yeah. Sorry that there's no Smurf fact jingle. I felt like it's only called for when we have an actual fact from Smurf. But we will make sure that he has the next week to get us this fact instead of us asking the day of when we're not seeing him in the chat.
Build us a repository.
Yes, he should just find this. We should make a Smurf deposit.
You can search for Smurf facts on Twitter, by the way.
I should have done that. Damn it! I should have read you a fact about the Smurfs and then been the Smurf.
Yeah,
fact.
But it is about the Smurfs, unfortunately. So
yeah. Well, are we gonna play anything after this, gents? Do we know? I brought up Battlefield and said we should play as a squad, and Ryan was like,
Doesn't have. Oh well, we got Battlefield 4.
Battlefield 4 sounds fun. That game's amazing.
The last time we played, it was not fun. Remember that shit? We were getting annihilated. It was not fun.
Hey, I didn't say anything. I just made a bunch of noises.
I could do Sea of Thieves. We could talk about it after the podcast is over.
All right, we'll talk about it after the podcast is over. I thought it'd be quick. I thought it'd be like, let's do this, and it wasn't.
We will try to make a decision quickly so that you in the chat can hang out.
Yes.
Probably not.
Anyway, so this Saturday, Jesus. This Saturday is Twitch STL. If you are listening to this or watching this right now and you're in the St. Louis area, the Twitch St. Louis fall meetup is at Moonbase Market in Soulard on Saturday at 6 o'clock. It runs until it's over. I think it's probably going to be around midnight, maybe a little earlier than that. You can RSVP. There's going to be a link in the show notes so that you can RSVP there. And it doesn't cost anything to RSVP. So you should do it. If you're in town and you want to meet us, we'll have a table. If you want to see Ben do a panel about being a commission artist and working with people over the internet. Yeah. All that cool stuff. Ryan will be there. Ben will be there. I will be there. We will be talking nerdy bits. We will be talking to some of the people that are organizing it and some of the people that are a part of Twitch St. Louis. It'll be fun. If you want to listen to the show, as those of you who already do know, that posts on Fridays, as well as the video The VOD of the show gets posted on YouTube on Fridays. If you want to listen to any of the other shows, go to nerdybits.com/listen and look at all of the stuff we have there. If you want to read any of the articles that we have written or any of the reviews or any of that stuff, nerdybits.com/read. We put Ben's review of a game called Ninja Saviors up last week. That game was really fucking hard to find the title of, because the key art they sent me when I asked for a refreshed link from WeTransfer said Ninja Warriors, Return of the Saviors. And the game's called Ninja Saviors, Return of the Warriors.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck, which one is it? So I had to like Google it and find the...
It was a hodgepodge team of bandits that put that game together. So yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You see the review? The same people that made the game 24 years ago came back to do the remaster.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
How many people get that opportunity? If you want to watch anything that we put together, we've got our YouTube. It's not nerdybits or youtube.com/nerdybits yet. We need a few more people to give us a follow, so do that. But if you search Nerdybits TV on YouTube, you'll find us. And if you want to send in questions for next episode, do that. We have a contact page, nerdybits.com/ I think it's just contact. My brain forgot, so sorry. Go to nerdybits.com, explore the page, and read about us, and read the stuff that we wrote. It's dope. If you want to follow Nerdybits on social media, it's _nerdybits on Instagram and nerdy_bits on Twitter. We are, but I don't know why I was going to say what we are on Twitch. You're watching it on Twitch, but it's Nerdybits TV on Twitch. If you want to follow me, sorry guys, my brain's kind of falling apart right now. If you want to follow me anywhere it's important, it's at Lubwub. That's Facebook. Nope. That's Instagram. That's Twitter. That's Xbox. That's PlayStation. Ben, where can people follow you? Holy shit, I'm done.
Everywhere at Sketch Sawyer.
Yeah, so much easier than all the shit I had to say. Ryan, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Xbox, and Twitch at Sergeant Sodium.
So, what do you play? Do you only play PC games through Microsoft? Through Xbox? Or do you play Steam too?
I have Steam.
Is your Steam not Sergeant Sodium?
No, I don't think so.
Mine's definitely not Lubwub.
It actually might be, but I don't remember.
Yeah. My Steam I made so long ago that like it's something stupid.
My login's not, but it might actually be on Steam as Sketch Sawyer.
I also got my new business cards.
Oh snap! Hold them up. Get them close.
Yeah, put it to your camera.
Ooh shit! That's dope. What's on the back? Nice.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome. Sweet.
And you spelled everything right?
It's blurry.
Yeah, it's spelled right. Oh, it started to focus. Sargant Sodium.
Sergeant?
Surgeon Sodium. That'd be really funny if it said that, actually. Yeah, so we're going to be doing something, for those of you watching live, we're going to be doing something on the stream in a minute. We're going to take a break to rehydrate and dehydrate, if you know what I mean. And
I said that in my class, and they thought that was very funny.
What's up?
I say that in my class, and they thought it was very funny.
See, I mean, I say these jokes around my friends, and none of them laugh. And I say them around strangers, and they laugh. And that's... Yeah. People always tell you if you can make your friends laugh, you're funny. But that's not true. Your friends aren't going to laugh at the shit because they're tired of it. And strangers are like, he's so witty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know.
Don't lie to friends.
Don't listen. Don't take your friends' feedback as, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But yeah, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Bounty Board. We will see you guys next week. We will be live for a portion of Saturday as well. So tune into all that stuff. We'll tweet about it and keep track of that while we do it. And yeah, catch you on...
The flippity.
I started it and Ben laughed. It's funny. Catch you guys on the flippity flap.
Bye.
Wait, what'd you say? Oh, you said bye-bye.
Yes. Just we're done.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Adios, guys. We will be back in a little bit. Peace.